Once a struggling nation, defined by bicycles and crowded markets, China now stands at the center of global power. This is the story of an economic revolution, a journey from poverty to prosperity that reshaped not just one country, but the entire world. It's a tale of how an ancient civilization, in just a few decades, orchestrated one of the most astonishing transformations in human history. Our story begins in 1949, with the founding of the People's Republic of China. The nation was ravaged by decades of war and turmoil. Under a centralized command economy, the new government aimed to build a socialist state from the ground up. Initial attempts at industrialization were made, but progress was slow and fraught with hardship. The country was largely agrarian with limited industrial capacity and widespread poverty. The dream of a powerful modern nation seemed distant, a goal overshadowed by the daily struggle for survival. For millions, life was a cycle of toil with little hope for change. Then, in 1978, a single decision changed the course of a nation. Under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping, China embarked on a bold new path of reform and opening up. This was a radical shift, moving away from rigid ideology towards economic pragmatism. The government cautiously began to allow private enterprise, creating a space for individual ambition to flourish for the first time in decades. Most importantly, China opened its doors to foreign investment, inviting the world to participate in its future. This wasn't just an economic policy, it was a philosophical revolution. The focus turned from political struggle to building a better life for its people. To manage this unprecedented experiment, China established special economic zones. These were coastal areas, like the once sleepy fishing village of Shenzhen, designated as laboratories for market-based policies. Here, within a socialist state, capitalism was given a trial run. Foreign companies, lured by tax incentives and a vast labor pool, rushed in to set up factories. What started as barren fields and quiet coastlines rapidly transformed into bustling industrial hubs. These zones became the engines of a manufacturing boom, connecting China's immense workforce to the global economy and paving the way for a nationwide industrial explosion. With cheap labor, a disciplined workforce, and an unmatched scale, China became the world's factory. The Made in China label appeared on everything from textiles and toys to electronics and machinery. This export-led growth model was wildly successful. Factories operated around the clock, churning out goods for consumers across the globe. This manufacturing miracle did more than just boost GDP. It fueled the largest poverty alleviation program in history. Hundreds of millions of people left rural poverty behind, finding new opportunities and better wages in the booming coastal cities. To sustain this incredible growth, China needed infrastructure, and it built on a scale the world had never seen. An explosion of construction connected the vast country like never before. The world's largest high-speed rail network began to crisscross the landscape, shrinking vast distances. Megacities with futuristic skylines rose from the ground, housing tens of millions. State-of-the-art ports were built, becoming the busiest on the planet and solidifying China's dominance in global trade. This infrastructure wasn't just a byproduct of growth. It was a deliberate strategy to drive it, creating jobs and enabling even greater economic expansion. This economic whirlwind triggered a massive social transformation. In the largest human migration in history, over 300 million people moved from the countryside to the cities in search of work and a new life. This urbanization fundamentally changed the fabric of Chinese society. A new, confident middle class emerged, with rising disposable incomes and a taste for modern lifestyles. Consumer culture blossomed, with shopping malls, cars, and international brands becoming symbols of newfound prosperity. The ancient rhythms of rural life began to give way to the fast-paced pulse of the modern metropolis. As the 21st century dawned, China began a new phase of its transformation, the technological leap. The country moved from being an imitator to an innovator. Homegrown tech giants emerged, pioneering new frontiers in e-commerce, social media, and financial technology. High-speed internet and smartphone penetration became nearly universal, creating a digitally native society. China was no longer content to be just the world's factory. It was now aiming to become a leader in advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, 5G, and renewable energy, signaling a shift up the global value chain. With its newfound economic might, China's ambitions turned global. It launched the Belt and Road Initiative, a colossal infrastructure project aimed at creating a modern Silk Road, connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe through a network of ports, railways, and highways. This was more than an economic strategy. It was a grand geopolitical vision. Through these massive investments, China began to export not just its goods, but also its influence, capital, and development model, actively reshaping global trade routes and power dynamics. But every rise carries its shadows. China's rapid development has come at a cost. The growth model has created mountains of debt and industrial overcapacity. Decades of unchecked manufacturing have led to severe environmental degradation, from smog-filled cities to polluted rivers. Internationally, the country faces criticism over its human rights record and trade practices. Its growing power has also led to increasing geopolitical tensions, particularly with the United States and other Western nations, creating a more complex and competitive global landscape. From isolation to the global stage, China's economic revolution has redrawn the world's map of power. In just 4 decades, it has lifted more people out of poverty than any country in history, building a modern, technologically advanced society. Its rise is not just a story of growth, it is the story of a nation's complete and utter transformation. As China continues to navigate its future, one thing is certain: the world we live in has been irrevocably shaped by its incredible journey. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world.